No, that was weird. Facebook turned on and turned right off. So I'm going to see if I can restart Facebook real quick. Since we're doing a video, I usually do through Facebook because it's only fair. So let's see if this works. If not, we're going to have a very interesting video tonight. I'm hoping. Boom. Okay, that's an interesting little fact. If you have YouTube up, you can put Facebook on even after, and it still clicks in. That's pretty interesting. Hey, I'm Louis Porter Jr. You're watching Transparency Agenda Daily. Something happened with Kickstarter really off the, well, not Kickstarter, sorry. Something happened with Facebook right off the bat, so we had this weird start. So that's kind of why I'm kind of discombobulated. There's a good choice of words. Right now, what's going on. So let me just start out since it's Thursday. This goes on with some more ideas that, you know, I wanted to change the format of the show. So today we're going to talk about independent movies, and some other stuff came up too. I got to show you some stuff, but let's go through our regular stuff and then we'll get on to the new stuff. Top secret. Oh, $680 away from reaching 100,000 with 6 days left. So, you know, they're making that. So that's not even a question. New path. Let's see what the new path is. 23,138. The next one I thought was 32,000. Let me see if my math is right. That's right. 32,000 just got passed. 34,000. So combat divinations, white necromancer archetype, and new priest archetype. That sounds interesting. Once again, solid work, solid stuff. It's going to be enjoyable. If you know any Kickstarters that I haven't followed or haven't talked about, send them our way. We always appreciate that because, you know, it's nice to give people a little bit of love and support because they need a little love and support. I mean that in the sense of them getting cool stuff. Next up, of course, of all our Patreons, which there are tons of them. Ask a Pathfinder, Clinton Boomer, Every Firm of Painting, Jim Zub, Lessons from the Screenplay, Liz Courts, Owen Casey Stevens, Raging Swan, and Wright Publishing. These are our friends, and I say friends and family. Go check them out. Go give them some support. Tell them what you saw them. Learn about them here because sometimes we're going to add some more stuff and maybe take some stuff out depending on how things go. Isn't that kind of cool? All right. Next up, we're going to do our self-promotion. Of course, we're going to promote ourselves, you know, because that's, you got to promote yourselves too. I mean, I give away a lot of free information. Plus, I got to pimp myself out. So if you don't know, join the Neo Access Legacies Facebook page. That's what we're working on right now. We've got a lot of projects going on with that. I got to talk to Michael, who's actually, hope your kids feel better. He's dealing with some issues at home. So I'm going to talk to him and see where we're going with some of the cool stuff. Stonemeyer blog, which I haven't checked all today, but today was a long, long day. I'll tell you another story. That's an interesting topic. The dangers of accepting pre-orders via PayPal. So that might be something scary that we all might want to pay attention to, especially if we're into Kickstarters, which I am. Gary Ray still's on his trip with his son. I don't think he's putting any new videos up. I said Gary Ray. Huh? Yeah, Gary Ray. Gary V, of course, has no stuff up for his show. So many Garys. I didn't realize that. All right. So tonight's topic, we're talking about independent film. But the reason I'm talking about independent film is really about independent film, how it's grown over, you know, from the 90s. It started in the 90s. It really, indie film really started in the 90s. People said, yes, there's indie film before that. Yes, I know that. I'm not drunk or stupid. I'm just saying there's some cool stuff that happened in the 90s that changed everything. But before we do any of that, that tea, I gotta drink that down fast. It's nice and cold. FYI, if you didn't know, I love cold drinks. Yes. So first up, Pacific Rim has a trailer out. You said Pacific Rim? Yes, Pacific Rim 2 apparently has a trailer out, and it's an interesting trailer, and I want to see more. And of course, we all didn't realize this is the week for Comic-Con, so all this stuff will be coming out. There's going to be news all this weekend. That's why I'm going to stop talking about it business today, because everybody's going to be talking about it all over the weekend. So I'm going to see what kind of craziness they do with that. It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting. It looks cool. I like the first one. Dude, it's robots and monsters and punching things in the face. I mean, dude, how could it not be bad? So that's why I see that. Next up, Kingsman, the Golden Circle had a red band trailer. You should check that out. It's a huge, exciting thing. I liked it a lot, and made me just think about film in general. Because for a lot of people don't know, when I was much younger, I thought about becoming a director and doing film and stuff like that. But I never ever got around to it because I always thought like, oh, you couldn't do something like this. I don't even know how something like this is even possible. I don't even know if something like this is realistic. I'm just looking for one book. If it's in my bookshelf, so I can reach it. Which I'm sure I can't because God knows my books are never where I want them to be. So I saw this movie a long time ago called El Mariachi, and everyone's telling me, "Oh, this film was made with $7,000." I'm like, $7,000? You know, that's a good film for $7,000. So I saw the film El Mariachi, and I was like, "This is a great film for $7,000. Holy cow, this is a great film. This film is awesome. Who wouldn't want to see this film for $7,000?" So out of that, a gentleman who's the director, the writer, the producer, and just about everything, including the music and special effects, Robert Rodriguez developed this film for $7,000 called El Mariachi. It is supposed to be basically about I guess I can say a mix-up between two guys carrying guitar cases, and it's funny and it's action, and for $7,000, it's not a bad movie. And I don't mean that in the sense of like, oh, $7,000, he should have done so much better. Something has happened. That was odd. What did my boss just tell me? Okay. My boss showed me. Gotta pay attention to your boss, right? It's very important. So this film is like, it's a good movie. And then he went on to the sequel to El Mariachi, was a movie called Desperado. Now, Desperado cost $7 million to make. Now, this is how late it was. $7 million with Selma Hayek and Antonio Banderas as both the main leads. And this is like, I think this is Antonio's like first big movie, and it's definitely Selma's first big movie because I'd never seen it before. And so I saw her walk across the street, and that scene that still sticks in my head that is, ruined me for a lot of women. I'm sorry, a lot of women have had to live up to Selma Hayek, which has been difficult, at least for them, not for me. I've been thankful. And one person actually did, but that's another story in itself. So that film, those two films really kind of got me excited about filmmaking and what you could do with a little bit of money. And then just happened to be a lot of indie films that came out of the 90s. And at that time, I was in my 20s. I was very much into comic books. I was very much into getting into Hong Kong cinema, looking at more, I'd always been a comic book guy. In the 80s, I was very much a comic book guy. I was Kung Fu guy, comic book guy. And then in the 90s, I got to expand to see all these cool movies I'd never seen before from all over. And some of them are dubbed, and some had some cool stuff, and some were just amazing, and some had some stuff I'd just never seen before. And I just gathered all that information and just sucked it up. I mean, literally, my 90s were just me watching movies all the time. I don't know if I watched as many as Kevin Smith did when he worked at the video store, but I know I watched a lot of movies. Just a lot of independent movies that were done, and I always thought independent film kind of like the groundwork for modern day filmmaking and how you can do things differently. And now, jumping ahead 20 years, you see all the cool stuff they do. So with that, I had two things that I think you should check out. If you're into independent films and you want to see something different and you want to get something really awesome, here's two things you can check out. One is called Mercury Men. I've talked about it on the show before. Mercury Men is a series by Chris. I don't know if this pronounces his last name. Precus. You can find a link on the page on there. Prescott. Preksta. Prescott. Let me stop murdering his name. So you can find the link there. He did this whole series called Mercury Men, and it was basically this whole series, and it's a cool little throwback adventure series. It's only 10 episodes. It's amazing to watch. It's very, very cool. You're going to love it. You're going to watch it and really have a great time. I had a great time watching it the first time. I've been a big fan. I was such a fan, I got in touch with the guy, but apparently I found out that he was a Pathfinder player. And this is like a couple of years ago. This is like right after it came out, and talked to him a little bit about it, and talked about movies and just understanding the whole process. Really polite guy, really cool guy, another gamer. So why wouldn't I reach out to him? See, that's another thing. A lot of these guys, a lot of guys who do stuff that you love are already like in your wheelhouse of people. You just don't realize it. And, he was one of those ones that kind of fit like that. So I reached out to him, got the information, talked to him, had a great time. He recently just released another project. When was this released? I want to get the date right. Then I really don't know the date, but I know it was recent. And I say that in the sense of it was recent as in 9 months ago. This one is called Echo Torch. And this is another amazing film that he did. And you should check it out. It's a short film. It's very, very short, but very kind of cool. If you're interested in if you're interested in anything like this and this kind of stuff, and you want to do your own films and be creative, you should check these two things out. They're really interesting. Here's a guy who did everything himself, in the link I sent you gives you all the stuff you can read off his Mercury Man stuff, and the trailers, behind the scenes stuff, the motivation, how he did the special effects, everything, which I think is great. I think if you're serious about it, this is something you should check out. You shouldn't even think like oh maybe. No, check it out. It's really, really informative. Why is it writing me today? So yeah, those are two pieces that I think are really, really great that you should check out immediately. It's just one of those things. And because we're talking about, of course, well, I'll get to the second part of that. And of course, since we're talking about movies, and of course, I tell you books you should pick up to read. Here's two books you should pick up, and this is one is about the movies. It's called Rebel Without a Crew. It's Rob Rodriguez, Marathi and Desperados writer, editor, everything. Him talking about his whole. He wrote down in a diary what he did in El Marathi and how he did it and how it sold the whole thing, and it's in this book, including how he got the money to get the film. Which, if you don't know the history about that, I'll make it very quick. He turned himself into a medical guinea pig to raise the money to get it. And it's quite funny, and it's quite sincere, and it's quite amazing. And you hear him talk about it, and it's amazing. And if you keep saying, oh, I can't find enough money to do something, he turns himself to a guinea pig. It's in the book. He talks about it. He talks about the 30 days he was doing it, what he's going to do with the money. He had a whole plan. Smart guy, smart idea. It's a great book. It's just a great book to read too. I think everybody should read, good books, but it's a great book to read. A lot of just good information that you can use for other stuff and get motivated for yourself, because sometimes you're not doing enough stuff. You're not doing enough stuff. You're putzing around. You're putzing around. Even I'm putzing around. Jesus, people, stop texting me. I'm doing my show. So yeah, man, people are putzing around. So that's the cool piece. And then today, and this is the other part. So this is the kind of the cool thing. So today I got in a package in the mail. Anytime I get a package in the mail, it's always great because I buy a lot of stuff. I buy Kickstarters, and sometimes the Kickstarters come in, and sometimes they don't. But when they do, you get cool stuff like this. So this came in. This is from Goodman Games. How to write adventure modules that don't suck. Now I saw the Kickstarter for this, and I supported the Kickstarter. I thought it was an interesting idea. And Goodman Games. All right, let me give you a little background about Goodman Games. Goodman Games is a company that did a very large amount of adventures for the 3.0 and 3.5 years, and did very, very well, did a very specific look and feel, and just put them out and did a great job. That is totally true. Now, here comes the funny moment. So when 4E was announced, he was one of the first guys who jumped on, saying it was going to be the hot new thing, and da-da-da-da. And at the same time, he was talking about it parallel to what Pathfinder was doing, and how 4E was going to be the thing, and Pathfinder was going to suck, and da-da-da-da. And I called him out for it. I was like, no, Pathfinder's going to stick around. I think 4E is going to fail, da-da-da-da. And of course, like typical egos get a little crazy. So then 4E implodes, and taking a lot of companies with it, including part of the stuff he did. And I made a horrible, horrible, horrible fun time about it. And let me tell you something right now. If something happens and I get to be on the winning side, I'm going to gloat. I'm not even going to try to lie. I'm going to gloat. I'm going to be like, oh, I knew it. I knew it. I may not have known it, but apparently I knew it because I was right and he was wrong. So, and I gloated about it like a monster. And I was like, oh, like one of the other companies, One Bad Egg. I'll never forget these guys. These guys are another guys who supported 4E. And the quote I used when 4E was going down, and those guys finally went out of business, and this is not nice, but hey, this is the game. I said, what was it? One hard-boiled egg cooked, one bad egg cooked. So it's like, it was a spoof on boiling eggs. And I was just like, and they went out of business, and thankfully enough, Goodman Games has not gone out of business. They continue doing some OSR stuff. They're doing their own line of stuff. And this book came out of Kickstarter. And I was like, you know what? These guys know how to write adventures. Say what you like. You don't have to like them. But I knew they knew how to write adventures. They did a lot of them. They had a lot of experience. And I wanted to get some, insight on it. So I supported the Kickstarter. And I got this lovely book, which I thought was very, very cool. I was like, that's a good deal. But also with that book, I got, boom, Adventures Almanac. An entire year's worth of adventures await you inside these pages, complete with magic items. It's just an adventure book, and I think it's like there's no, that's stat blocks, but they're not like stat blocks. They're like more like stuff to know that goes on with it. But it's very much the same old style, and that's something Goodman Games. I have to give him a lot of credit. Homeboy does it black and white. He doesn't care. He's not trying to make it pretty. He's like, black and white is what we're doing. We're trying to keep this price low. And this book, $24.99, and also the other one here, The Adventures Don't Suck, is $29.99. And also I got this, which I thought was interesting. Our favorite adventure modules and what we learned from an essay book. And so it's a 32-page floppy essay book, but it's from it's from people writing. How many adventures are listed in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, well, 16. 16 adventures they talk about, like what made the adventure good, what made it bad, what was interesting. And it's from all different types of people. Brendan LaSalle, Lester Smith, Skip Williams, Gene Raby. I mean, it's it's a lot of names in here, a lot of people who've done work. So it's very, very cool. And on top of that, I got this, which I thought was a cool idea. Their catalog, which is always good. If you're gonna, if you're gonna promote stuff, promote the catalog. Haven't even opened this up yet. I'm not gonna open this up yet. I got other stuff to read first, but that came in the mail today via Kickstarter. Lots of cool stuff good. And I put a link in if you want to find it. It's available only through one distributor. I noticed ACD distributor. They have it for sale. So, but your copy doesn't look like my copy. My copy is special. See, like your copy is nice. My copy has like gold foil on it. See, it's gold foil. Your copy just has like a school book look, just no monsters. Mine has monsters on yours. It's special like that. So there you go. Yeah. So I mean, I've always been a fan of indie films. I think this kind of stuff is stuff we need to talk about. I think we need to start reading more stuff. I keep telling people read more stuff, read more independent stuff, check out more independent stuff, see different stuff. This is a good time to do it because if you want to be creative in this field, be creative by doing other things, not just doing what everyone else is doing. If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're going to get what everyone else gets. And that usually doesn't mean much. And you can't copy people to success. You can be influenced by people. You can get inspiration, but you can't copy them. If they're doing something great. If they're doing something great and you're trying to copy what they're doing, you're not innovating. You've got to find a way to do something different from what they're doing. Everything you do needs to flow back into your creativity. While you might see a cool idea they might start with, you might take it in a different direction. That's something else. But don't just copy someone verbatim and try to be them. Be yourself. Be the creative you that you are. Don't be the creative them because you're going to lose. And people are going to know you're not authentic. And when the second they know you're not authentic, you're done. And that's how that works. It's just that simple. All right, I'm getting out of here. Like I said, short night, stuff to do, more stuff to talk about later after San Diego Comic-Con, because I'm sure there's going to be tons of stuff on Monday we'll be talking about. Tons of stuff. So as always, you can subscribe over here on YouTube. I think I'm pointing at the right thing still. Maybe not. Right up front here at Facebook. You can check us out either place. Either way is very helpful. As always, go give your parents a hug and kiss. Tell them that you love them. Tell them they're awesome. Go give your kids a hug and kiss. Tell them they're amazing. Tell them they can do anything. That's always a good thing. Kids appreciate that. As always, thank you for stopping by. Check out and also check our links here. Of course, I'll be putting them up in the big description. But check our links. We have lots of cool stuff, lots of cool information, lots of just things we're just trying to toss you so you can have to become better at whatever you want to do. That's my job. It's trying to help you be better. If I'm doing a job, keep telling me. If I'm not, please tell me too. I don't want to sound like an idiot up here. I mean, I can do that alone by myself. I'm just saying. All right, everybody. You all have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. We probably will not be doing a random transparency agenda show tomorrow. I got some stuff at work to catch up with, but it's going to be a good weekend, and I will see you back on Monday. Yeah, Monday. All right. You all have a good weekend. I'll talk to you all later.